Hi everyone, it's Georgia here, and this is another project that I am filming especially for my May 2021 Virtual Faith Art Retreat, Light to My Path. Now this is going to be a bit of a tutorial how to do this kind of mixed media-ish kind of page, as well as, especially for you Lydia, a look into my brain and how things work, because I haven't quite decided what I'm doing and I'm going to be making it up as I go, or well, the proper term probably is just following the lead as it's put in front of me, because I'm not quite sure where I'm going with it. I do have an idea. I mean, I know why I have chosen this page. I know what this page is about, but I just don't know about the artwork. So I am working with Psalm 57, and our theme this month on our retreat is kind of a journey theme, and we have done a project about physical journeys, and this is the project that's highlighting spiritual journeys. Because we are in May now, we're at the end of May now, we're heading towards that date in June that I make a big fuss over. Then I will go all TMI in the retreat group. Actually, come to the retreat and I will tell you all about it. But for now, I am going to focus on Psalm 57. And in this version, my journaling Bible, it is a Catholic journaling Bible, the New Revised Standard Version. It actually says in Psalm 57, verse 7, "My heart is steadfast, O God, my heart is steadfast." But I actually like the version that I have read somewhere else that says, "My heart is ready." And that's what I'm actually going to be using as my focus verse. And I will write it somewhere on this page. So I'm actually looking at verses 7 and 8. "My heart is ready, O God, my heart is ready. I will sing and make melody. Awake my soul." That's what I want. So I'm kind of doing a heart's journey kind of theme. So I'm sort of going to be doing a bit of a mixture of journey, trip, travel kind of art with some hearts. I've pulled out a piece of doily. I'm sort of thinking something sort of delicate and pretty to break up the harshness of the travel, and we'll kind of see how we go. I'm sort of like half working off an idea of something that I've done in the past, but I'm changing that around a bit. So we'll kind of see. We'll see where this page takes us. I am doing it in the real journaling Bible, but I'm sort of kind of doing that all the time now. So yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm starting off by, I think what I will do first of all is actually mask off my focus verse, just so that I don't accidentally go over it, because I tend to do that when I get too distracted. So I'm using once again my Sizzix Maker's tape, which I love so much for this. I know that's not the reason it was invented and produced, but you know, Bible journalers, or rather, hey Sizzix, we Bible journalers, we love your Maker's tape. Okay, we're using it off label. So here we go. Okay, so I am going to, oh, and I only need the one piece. I'm going to mask that off just so that I do not accidentally go over it. And I'm thinking, I really don't want that because I'm not going the whole touristy thing. So if I was to cut it off here, I might actually start off with, and I know I normally tear it, but because this is the edge of the page, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to throw things around the room tonight. It's one of those nights. Okay, so I'm sort of thinking, if that goes like this, I do not want all those musical words. As much as I love them, they're not appropriate, but I do want that soul. So if I rip that there, that's going to go like this. I'm going to do a bit of a collage-y thing. Put that aside for later. And thinking, I know there's paint on this because I painted it for some other reason, but I don't waste anything, so I'm not going to throw it out if I can use it here. Maybe we'll do a little bit of, rip that, put a bit of doily under there. Okay, we'll start with this, and then I'm going to end up putting some more of this rice paper and around here as well. So I should have mentioned that I'm actually using some rice paper. This is from the Ciao Bella Blue Notes collection. And I'm just going to clear gesso stick that down. So just painting the gesso over my page. There we go, we'll pop that down here. All right, now just paint the gesso over the top to stick it down. All right. Now at this point, if you wanted to keep your entire, whether you're using a psalm or whatever piece of scripture, if you wanted to keep the whole thing free so that you can read all of it, not just your focus verse, this is quite a good project for that, because you can, if you have a journaling Bible that has big areas around the sides, then you can do your collaging around the edges and leave the whole scripture free so that you can read the whole lot. Gosh, my words aren't working today either. I'm just, yeah, nothing's working well today. I am incredibly distracted. So I'm just going around and just putting a little bit here and there. I am not going to cover the entire page. I'm actually thinking of doing something else down here. So this is all I want. Oh, we wanted that soul, didn't we? Because it's really, really awesome. So we might pop that here. Okay, now I'm going to give that a bit of a heat gun dry and then let it dry thoroughly before going on to the next step. Now off camera, I decided that I needed a bit of music on my page, so I stuck a little bit of music tissue paper down the side here. And what I'm going to do now is just paint the bottom part of my page with watercolors. I'm using my Prima Confections. This is the Woodlands collection, simply because it's the only set I have. And I am going to just use some sort of blues and greens to sort of go with that turquoisey kind of color that's already in the tissue, in the rice paper. And there's no rhyme or reason to how I do this. And I have not prepped the page, by the way, which is probably a good thing because watercolors do not really like going over gesso. So it's a good thing that I did not think to prep the page. So normally I would have, especially not knowing where I was actually heading with this. So a good thing I completely forgot. And I'm adding some color to my doily as well. I'm going over the tissue paper that has the music. As you can see, it's not really happy on that gesso, so I'm just spreading it there, doing a bit of finger painting. Seems to be my trademark. And then I'm washing some of that watercolor over the rice paper, just so I don't have that very harsh line separating the two. We're going for a little bit of a blending sort of thing. I'm going to grab some Distress crayons, and I'm just going to add a little bit of brown over my doily here, just to blend in with that brown from the rice paper. And I'm kind of going to use it as a bit of a watercolor. I'm just washing it out with a wet paintbrush. And I'm using a bit of bundled sage here. And then with my Mermaid Lagoon, which is a nice blue, I'm sort of doing this rough border around the whole page, which I'm now going to water down. So I'm sort of only half blending it because I still want that line to be there in some places, but only sort of here and there. So I kind of want, you know, a little bit smudgy but still distinct. Now, of course, you might want to blend yours out completely. You might want to leave a solid line. You might want to do nothing at all. Again, totally up to you. I might add a little bit more to this doily here. Okay, so that's the background done. So now just a little bit of decorating on the page. I can actually pull this off now, I think. So with the theme being My Heart is Ready, I thought I would use some die cut hearts on my page. And what I've done is I've cut out, using one of my nesting dies, I've cut out a piece of sort of tan coloured card, cut out this heart and just gave it a very light coat of white gesso. I've also cut a heart out of an offcut of a piece of Bible page, and then I traced around the heart and then ripped it on this tan coloured card. My thought process here, this is for you, Lydia, once again. My thought process here is my heart is ready, but this is the heart that's not ready. So it's going to sort of, you know, move down to the my heart is ready. I hope that makes some sort of sense. So what I'm going to do now is just add a little bit of colour to them. Now the not ready heart, if I can call it that, I am going to just, and I don't actually know how this is going to go because I shouldn't do these let's experiment things when and I haven't tried this before, and I'm going to do it in not only in the Real Journaling Bible but during a YouTube video of a tutorial. So here you go, once again I'm being your guinea pig. So I'm just scribbling over it with my Bundled Sage Distress Crayon, because I thought that was kind of similar to some of the sort of grey or browny bluey sort of colours on the rice paper that I used. And I'm just watering that down and spreading it around the heart. Now I want a sort of rough grungy look here, and I'm just going to just scribble some of the vintage photo onto my glass mat here and add some water to it, and I'm basically just using it like a watercolour. Oh, it's going all soapy looking. And I'm just going to add some sort of grungy bits here and there. So that's for that one. Put that one aside. It's not quite finished yet, but we'll get there. Now, the Bible page one, I'm going to water down that vintage photo. So I want just a little bit of colour on it, so it's not so white. But I'm not doing very much to this one just yet. So that's good enough for me there. And this one here, I kind of want to leave it white because I'm going to have writing around it, or across it. I'm just going around the outside in blue. Now you could use your gelatos for this, or you could use anything you like. Acrylic paints, watercolors, pencils, textures, anything. You don't have to outline them at all. You could actually cut them out of pattern paper. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. I don't usually play with my distress crayons, so that's a bit of an experiment for me. I'm not a big distress crayon fan, I have to say, but that's probably just because I don't know how to use them. I'm more of a paint girl. Having said that, I'm grabbing some black paint, and I'm going to just put a grungy black border around the not ready heart. Okay, then I'm just grabbing a little bit of turquoise paint. Don't need very much. And I thought I would just add a little bit of colour to the Bible page heart. So I'm just giving little random bits of, splotches here and there. And I will end up outlining this once I stuck it down. I'm just not sure where I'm sticking it yet. I might give this just a couple of little random bits as well. Okay, so we'll let those dry. Now this heart's looking just a little bit weird to me, like it needs something else. So I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping over it. And I'm just grabbing my Sweet and Sassy background stamp. I still can't find my acrylic block for stamping. I don't know. I've cleaned half of this room. Still can't find it. No idea where it is. So I am still just hand stamping. And I don't even want it to be legible. Just little bits and pieces here and there, just to fill up that space. that's that. Put that aside. And then I'm just deciding how I'm going to stick my hearts. And remembering that I might actually grab a marker while I'm at it. I'm just going to scribble around my focus verse just to make myself more aware of it, because I have this funny feeling that I'm going to end up sticking something over it. All right, so now remembering that's there and I don't want it covered. So I'm sort of thinking how I'm going to put my hearts. And we might go something like this. So just grab my glue. So they're sort of going to kind of cascade down the page. Now you could use any shape you like. You don't have to use shapes. You could use die cuts, embellishments, whatever you like. I think I might use some paint at this point. And I'm using quite a dark blue here. And I just want to do a bit of a sort of outline of my hearts. Yeah, I'm not going for a perfect outline. I want a sort of a scribble, rough kind of thing going on. And just a little bit, just for fun, I'm just going to do a tiny bit of bubble wrap printing. I'll just squish a bit of paint on my glass mat here. And here we go. I just squish it. I'm dabbing most of it off because I don't want it to be really dark. And just a little bit here and there. Okay, good. She says as she can't stop compulsively dabbing bubbles all over her page. There we go. So I want to add a few more bits to my page, but before that, I think I will do the writing part because I don't want to get carried away, put, dimensionally things all over the page and then go, oh, but I meant to write this out and have no space for it. So the two things I want to do is I want to write, my heart is ready, oh God, my heart is ready. And I want that to be inside that heart. That was always the plan. But I also want that line, awake my soul, and I'm thinking of writing that quite large across the bottom here. So that is the plan. I'll start by just writing that, and I think I want it just sort of scripty on the heart, I think. This is what happens when you just don't know what you want. We might go with pencil first. I'll pencil this one first because I'm just not sure. Yeah, something like that. Okay. See, as it's my way, I do something rough and then I go, oh yeah, and I sort of change it along the way. So sometimes you just got to jump in there and just do it. And I'll let that dry before I erase the pencil marks. And then awake my soul, I'm thinking down here. I'm thinking something like that. So very often when I just pencil in my focus verse or focus line, I end up sort of changing things as I go. So I'm just very lightly putting it in first of all, and then I will thicken that up once I'm happy with it. Okay, now I will thicken this up, erase all my marks, and then we'll be ready to add some fun decorations. Okay, and just a little finishing touch. I've grabbed some paper flowers and just added a little bit of ink to them to make them not so one-dimensional. And I am going to stick them somewhere. I do want them together. I want a bit of a cluster. I'm going to put them right there. Usually, if I'm not sure, I know this is going to sound really strange, if I'm just not sure whether I like something or where I like it the most, I can't do it right now because I'm using the iPad for this, but I will take photos of it in different positions and then have a look at it, because seeing your page on screen kind of looks different to looking at it, just like this. And very often you'll sort of see things differently on the screen and go, oh, okay, this is where it looks better. I don't know if that actually made any sense, but it's what I do. Okay, I'm just grabbing a little bit more of my tea dye ink, and I'm just going to go around these flowers a bit because they just look, I don't know, a little bit strange. I just need to grunge them up a little bit. And finally, I have grabbed my little box of enamel dots and bling dots and things. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if I want actual shiny stuff. I don't mind the dark one there. Yeah, I might use some of those. So I'm just going to put some little enamel dots in the center of my flowers. And then I'm just going to put little random ones around the page. And I do realise that this is now going to make the page all lumpy and cause all sorts of problems with the page next door. But it would not be the first time that I caused such issues for myself. Just a few more here. I think I've gone over the top a little bit with this page. But there is a reason. There's a story. There's always a story. I don't like those. They kind of look kind of strange. Something weird went on there. Let's fix that up. Put a few more. Okay, might stop there. And that's it. That's all I'm doing in terms of decorating. So that's my page. I will actually be adding some secret journaling. Where, you might ask? I don't know. Well, there's lots of space. I've been known to write very small. So I will fit some secret journaling in here somewhere because this does need to be journaled, this page. Otherwise, this is it. My Psalm 57, you could of course use this for any page. The spiritual journey part of our retreat projects for May 2021, Virtual Faith Art Retreat, Light to My Path. Now, as always, if you are in my group God's Refrigerator, then you know all about this retreat. It actually has its own Facebook group, which I will put the link of down below in the description. Please feel free to come and join us. The retreat runs from the 20th until the 24th of May 2021, but the retreat group actually stays open for the whole month. So even if you show up late, you'll miss out on the actual things, you know, discussions and things that are happening in real time, but you'll still be able to have a look at everyone's artwork and get some inspiration. If you're not in my group God's Refrigerator, why not? That is my line. Come on over, knock on the door, answer the secret question, we'll let you in. Then you'll be able to join in the other things that we do apart from the retreats. If you're not into groups, not a problem. All my social links are down below. If you create a page using this tutorial, please, I would love to see it. So share it in the group, on my profile, wherever, anywhere. Link me so that I can see it. And otherwise, I think I've done it all. Oh yes, do the things with the thumbs up and the, you know, the liking, subscribe, like, and comment below. Just you know, just because it's a nice thing to do. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.